Hello students, today we are going to start with the chapter 4.2 to serve with love. This is one of the part, that is chapter 17, taken from the novel written by E.R. Braithwaite. E.R. Braithwaite was a Guyanese-born British-American novelist, writer, teacher and diplomat, best known for his stories of social conditions and racial discrimination against black people. He was the author of one of the famous 1959 autobiographical novels, To Serve with Love. Braithwaite's writings are a kind of homecoming which is about his tour of Africa, A Choice of Straws, a novel set in London, and Reluctant Neighbours, which is a memoir and treatise about the racism. He wrote many novels about dealing with the difficulties of being an educated black man, a black social worker, a black teacher, and simply a human being who found himself in the set of inhuman circumstances and many more difficulties regarding racism. To Serve with Love is an autobiographical novel. The narrator is an engineer, but to make his both ends meet or to make his livelihood, he has to accept the job of a teacher in a rough London East End school. This school is full of troublemaker students who were rejected from other schools for their behavior and their attitudes. Now, these students are ill mannered, disrespectful, and mischievous. At the beginning, the narrator is ridiculed and bullied by the students, but later on, his calm attitude and desire to see them succeed gradually earns him their respect. They start respecting him. The major theme of this novel is student-teacher relationship, prejudice, that is feeling of not liking because of race, caste, religion, and racism are the major themes of the novel. Now in this extract, Braithwaite is a teacher in Greenslade School in London. Now at the time of half-yearly report of the Students' Council, which is held on November 15th, Braithwaite remembers or recounts the Students' Council, in which the students of the school report to the faculty, that is, the teachers, and the other students on what they have been studying thus far. Now, in this meeting, Braithwaite's class is the higher class or the senior class, wherein his class representatives speak very knowledgeably about their coursework, and they place a considerable amount of emphasis on how much they have learned about different people, culture, customs, and the importance of international and interracial cooperation, that is, involving differences in the races or castes or religions. Now, Miss Joseph and Denham both are the in charge students of the Braithwaite's class, and they are the one who are presiding over the meeting. In the beginning, Mr. Florin, the headmaster, addresses the meeting with a lengthy but well-received presentation. One after another, each class gives a brief report of their progress through their chosen representatives on what they have been studying in each subject so far. Also, a panel of teachers is chosen for each class to answer any questions regarding the report submitted by the class. Now, the meeting begins with the lowest class first, and it is obvious that as the students progress through the ranks, there is a marked development in their ability to express themselves, and this was the progress they had made because that was the lowest class and they were able to speak up. Mr. Braithwaite's class was the oldest one, and they had to present their report at the last. Now, Denham, who was the representative of Braithwaite's class, he called out the names of the representatives together with the subjects on which they would report. Now, Potter talked on arithmetic, Cepiano on nature study, Miss Peg and Jackson on geography, Miss Dare and Fernman, Physiology. Miss Dodd, History. Denham, PT and Games. Miss Joseph, Domestic Science. Now students, it was Miss Joseph's turn to speak up. Now she said that they had the common theme underlying all their studies this term, and this theme was interdependency of mankind. Now students, interdependency means mutual reliance on each other. Then she called Potter. Now Potter came and spoke on focusing how greater understanding in the world is fostered by the use of common weights and measures. Now it was the turn of Miss Peg and Jackson. Now Miss Peg and Jackson spoke on geography, and Miss Dare and Furman discussed on the subject of physiology. Now Furman, the smartest one, stole the show by exhibiting a model of a human skeleton, and he explained everyone that basically all the people were the same, and so we shouldn't discriminate anyone by their caste, creed, country or religion. The next one was Miss Dodd. She reported on history and Miss Joseph on domestic science. Now Denham creates a stir by speaking on the required subject of PT and games. He complained that the class was ill-conceived and pointless. Denham said that PT was pointless and that they should concentrate more on jolly good games. Now the teachers who were chosen to answer the questions of the students were Mr. Weston, Mrs. Dale Evans and Miss Phillips. Now the questioning session began, and Denham started to inquire on the necessity of requiring all the students to take PT. Denham was a trained boxer and he insisted that such exercises should be practiced daily. To his question, Mr. Weston responded ridiculously, and he was confused and tried to bluster his way out of the subject, and he offered no argument. Unexpectedly, the quiet and hesitant Miss Phillips stepped in and gave a sturdy or strong defense on this practice, and Denham knew that he was outwitted by her. That means Denham had no choice and he stopped his heated protest. Thus, the meeting ended, and Braithwaite was immensely satisfied with the progress of the students of his class. Hope this chapter is clear to you all. Thank you.